Good afternoon, Matt Porter. Welcome
Hey,
to
Gary.
welcome to my virtual bar.
And I'm in the same bar.
I can see that, but you don't have a beautiful photograph of yourself behind.
Yeah, thankfully.
Thankfully.
No, look, thanks for asking me to do this. It's been fun thinking about what we might chat about. It'll be great to get back to be honest, to our normal pint of Guinness instead of our glasses of water. It'd be nice to get back to drinking a pint of something black.
Something black. So where are you holding out? Where are you now?
Yeah, I'm at home at the minute in the home office, and partly in the office and partly at home. So trying to get that balance like the rest of the world. Obviously we supply the HSE with some installations and so on. So we can go to work if we want to, but mostly we're working from home right now.
And home is obviously Dublin.
Yeah, Dublin, Clontarf, near the sea. Dublin's a fantastic place to be during this time. There's lots to do, even within a 2 kilometer radius of your house, which is fantastic. But can I start with saying two things? We can't start any of these chats anymore without acknowledging what the HSE and everybody on the front line are doing. Many of which are my friends. Many of those guys, I'm cycling with them on the weekend. It's just wonderful to see them on the front line and all that they're doing for everybody. You and I know we have to stand 2 meters away from somebody, and we're prepared to do that because we know it's involved. But imagine you're being asked to stand right beside somebody with COVID, and that's your day job. I just think it's fantastic. And maybe secondly, if I was to say anything, it's chapeau to you and to everybody in Hosting Ireland in terms of rallying around your request to connect the HSE with people that supply PPE. That's a great achievement. Well done. It's nice to see us giving something back.
Well done. We spoke about it off air. I think at the moment there's nothing as important as making sure the right people are dealing with the right people. And that can be difficult for a lot of people because everybody's looking at the long game and what's in it for me.
Yeah, sure.
It's very grown up, Matt. The matter that we're talking about is very
Yeah, but isn't it nice? It's nice. It's a bit of a change, and hopefully it's part of the new norm. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But long term, if we have that kind of attitude towards each other, it's just going to be fantastic. There are upsides to what's going on at the minute. Whether we learn the lessons and live those lessons afterwards, or whether we just all forget about it and go a million miles an hour again, who knows?
I think
wait and see.
There's a lot of learnings, and anything to be made. I don't believe that even after the different phases of lockdowns goes, there'll be a lot of, unfortunately, there'll be a lot of people who have lost people. So it'll be very tangible, or people who know people who lost people. And they used to say during the financial crisis is at least you have your health.
Yeah.
You lost money, but at least you have your health.
Sure.
And that was sort of got me through a few dark days, and I'm sure you as well.
Yeah.
So who's there holding up with you? I know you've got a reasonably young family. How are you all?
Yeah. So I have two boys, 10 and 12, and my wife from the States. So with my wife, we're listening to fun stuff in the evening on the American news. Interesting, some funny stuff. The two lads are just busy, right? They're missing all their sports. We're able to go to the park in the evenings, bring the hurls, bring the footballs, do some running. I'm timing them, doing a 2K run. They're usually doing the park run, but I'm putting their time on their WhatsApp group and their soccer team. So, gives them something to do, gives them a target. Yeah. So they're, by and large, they're fine, but they are ready to go back to school, and we're ready to let them go back to school. They're a bit of a handful when they want to be, but they're doing well. They're doing fantastic. It's little we have to complain about.
Are you about to expel any of them from homeschool yet?
Yeah. Hats off to the teachers. I mean, newfound respect. I mean, we already respected them, but now how you would handle, 20 kids, whatever number of kids in the same room, it's just amazing work they do, for sure. I can hear my wife in the background giving out to them every now and again, and I go out to break up an argument or maybe to start one and then come back in, close the door, go back into my office. So I'm not sure I'm always thanked for that, but yeah, no, it's good.
And obviously, with all this introspection and thoughts and stuff, have you learned anything about yourself?
Yeah, I'm not sure that I have. I certainly have learned that I don't want to work from home as much as I thought I did. I like the cut and trust of business, and I like to be in the office with the team. So that's one thing for sure. Um, I've learned that I have 4 windsurfing sails and 2 windsurfing boards that I didn't know I had or couldn't remember I had. So I've reconnected with those, and it's been good. We've got some stuff done around the house, and we have time. I mean, before we used to sit at the dinner table, and one of the guys had to go to his taekwondo, his soccer, his Gaelic football, his hurling,
Yeah.
his this, that, and the other sport. And now, you know what, we're sitting around having dinner together, and it's quite nice actually. But it will go back to, you need to give him a lift there, I need to give him a lift there, and passing each other like ships in the night.
You're a big cyclist.
Yeah,
You're famed nearly for your charity work and your cycling and stuff.
yeah,
Just cycle around in a 2 kilometer circle now. The deal.
yeah. It's tricky. We can't do the miles that we used to do. In fact, I think I'm supposed to be in France this weekend at an event with some of the people from Excel Redstone, but we're not doing that obviously now, and we're going to roll it over to next year. So yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a big cyclist now. I love my cycling, and it's my way of keeping fit. But I'm not going to win any races, that's for sure. But I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot.
I live in Enniskerry, so we get quite a few weekend cyclists, and I'm not suggesting this of you or your cycling companions, but I genuinely think for some of them, you need to get that wide load sign
Yeah,
that you see on the big articulate.
yeah, yeah. Some cyclists are terrible. They're cycling all over the road. It's bad.
So talk about your business a little bit. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's all change. It's dynamic. You're keeping it going, doing some work.
yeah. I mean, the numbers tell the story. I mean, I was reading a CIS report the other day. I think it said 75% of businesses are seeing a significant fall in their revenues. 63%, if I'm right, have less than 3 months cash, and that's worrying. And 80% of businesses have laid off somebody, and 40% of businesses are closed temporarily. So clearly, therein lies the story. It's been a big challenge, and I think our challenge for our business, which is a very successful business, is making sure that we weather the storm. And part of that issue is we don't know how long it's going to be, but hopefully we will be back on sites and data centers will be open again and so on. But the reality is we've got to use this period to explain to our staff what we're doing to bridge this gap and get to the other side. So we're there again in our healthy way and ready to take care of the madness again. So that's what we're doing.
And is that sort of one of the slight differences, maybe, I'd suggest, with the industry that you're in, and a very big part of the infrastructure for digitalization, which, if anything, right now, there's an increase in awareness and demand for it, unlike maybe other industries, hospitality and stuff. Is that one of the things that gives you strength to communicate with your guys?
Yeah, I mean, look, two of the things we're doing is we're working with IoT in terms of the Internet of Things. Everything is connected, so everything needs to be cabled together and put onto a network, and that's us. So in that regard, everything we do in an office block and every other kind of building is key these days to making everything work. Everything we do in the data center, some of our clients are saying they have a 700% increase in activity, 700%. So you can imagine the kind of work that we're going to get involved in when we come back, but we just have to bridge this gap and get to the other side, which we will do because we have a good little company and we can do that. And once we get to the other side, I think it's going to be business as usual and we take off again. So yeah, I mean, we can see the work ahead of us, and we just need to get there and be in good shape and just be there for our clients again. Our clients have been fantastic, by the way. I mean, they've been really fantastic. I mean, we put 30 years into this thing, so we've earned a reputation, we've built a reputation, and it's good. It's nice to see all the hard work coming good.
I guess one of the things that is being discussed at the moment is obviously going into Q2, maybe even Q1 of this year.
Sure,
The demand was already there, and to create, retain, and attract talent was a
sure,
challenge. Now that we see other industries that maybe won't go back at the same speed, there was a suggestion earlier by somebody that a lot of the skills of really good facilities people and really good hospitality related can transfer
sure.
into
Yeah,
industry like this. So,
yeah,
for those that might be listening to this that aren't necessarily in the industry, a lot of
sure.
those fundamental skills of doing the right
Yeah,
things in the right order, um, they should nearly be thinking that there is other opportunities.
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we are going to need, first of all, we've not let anybody go. We've had to put some people on temporary leave, and we want them all back, and we need them all back. And we've put a lot of effort into them. They've put a lot of effort into us, and
Yeah,
we will need them and more to satisfy the need that's coming down the pipe. So for sure, we'll be looking around, and we'll be looking for good people.
yeah,
Can I say we need to get everything in perspective as well? You mentioned it earlier that we did a lot of charity work, and my business has helped me there and supported me there. When I look at what's going on around the globe, a billion people, or a little less than a billion people, live below, in extreme poverty below that line, which is $2 a day. Okay, a billion people according to UNICEF. 2 billion people don't have access to clean water. 15,000 children die every day of preventable diseases. Hunger, diarrhea will kill people. Like a happy kid in Africa, and I see it all the time, a week later it can go from happy to not so happy to in trouble to gone, and there's no safety net. And I just wonder, getting everything in perspective, and our own business, we need to bring our own business back for sure. And we need to work with cables, glass cables that send data signals around the entire circumference of the Earth in less than 0.2 of a second. But we need to get things in perspective. These kids, I wonder, 15,000 dying a day, are we going to have more empathy with everything and everybody and everything that's going on our planet? I wonder, it'd be nice to think that we're a little bit more rounded and a little bit more balanced when we come back after all this kind of, and we try to take something positive out of the whole experience. I don't know. Maybe we'll just, you and I know when we get back and our mobiles start going crazy, we're just going to go crazy again. But it would be nice to think that we come back from this a little bit better off than we went into it.
there was always a suggestion given to me by people that probably the greatest attribute you could ever have is empathy.
Yeah,
Empathy is something you can read about a lot in books, but unless
yeah,
you've experienced it, unless you've broken your
yeah,
arm, you can't
yeah.
actually empathize with someone who hasn't
Sure,
broken their arm. So
sure.
whether we do or don't, and it'll be somewhere in the middle, as you know, it'll be
Sure.
places will go extreme. One thing that we can say is that we're ignorant of it now,
Yeah,
ignorant of
yeah,
pain. Again, we see the amount of people who die from congestion related issues with toxins on
sure.
emissions. That now we've got demonstrable evidence when you see even the
Sure. Mm,
maps and you see
mm,
dolphins coming back into Venice and you see kangaroos
yeah,
preoccupying parts, that there's an awful lot more going on than just
sure,
our little how do we make more money, or how do we make,
sure,
you say, electrons or photons fly around. So
sure, sure.
empathy maybe, but even if 1 or 2% of the right
Yeah,
people have a
sure,
different view, that 1 or 2% might be in the position to make a lot of difference.
sure. I used to say to people, come with me to our place in Africa where we do some work. Spend 1 week of all of the holidays that you're going to take in your entire life. Stand in the village with me for 1 week. Don't try to do anything, change anything, own anything, solve problems. Just be there in the space, see what's going on, and say, "Shit,"
Yeah,
this is what's going on, and you'll be amazed when you come home. The things you can do to change things and affect change are easy to do. Organize a coffee morning, play a game of golf with a couple of lads. You can bring water to an entire village with the money that you raise from a coffee morning. It's just it's just amazing. But you're right. So few people know how to affect change, how to make a difference. They think, you know what, it's not my problem. I don't know how to solve that. It's a government issue. And no matter what amount of reading you do, it goes around full circle and comes back on your door. What are you doing? Do something. Just do something. We want to return to mad business. We want to build the fastest data centers, speeds, and everything else in the world, and we are, and we will, and we'll continue to do that. We'll work with cables that are this diameter with 3,456 cores of fiber in this dimension. Quite amazing. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, I hope we learn something from the whole experience. It would be disappointing if we come back and we just, it's boom, same as usual.
We spoke before we came on the recording about 3 words. Now, I won't suggest you give me the 3 words that won't suggest it, because that might be for the outtake version of this interview. But if there was 3 words.
Yeah. Well, you did ask me to have 3 words ready, and here they are.
Well, I can't see them because they're the same size. Because you've obviously got a white background.
Oh, that's going to be a problem. Well, they simply say,
have your back. Oh no, I can see it now for some reason. Have your back. Look after your brother, yeah?
It's a shared problem. I mean, we're there to support our clients, our staff, and everybody else. Lift the phone, do a Zoom, do a Teams, let's talk. We can solve these problems together, really. That's what it's all about.
Well, I can't think of a better way to end. It's been a pleasure. It's always fun.
Thanks, Garry.
And you and I go back 25 years when we were competitors. Fierce competitors, I'd suggest. And
it was good. That was fun, and these days are better.
But never. One of the things we can all learn, we were first competitors, but we never underestimated or disliked each other.
No.
Even though we had professional challenges between us. Thank you for always being yourself. Thank you for being a further host in Ireland, and I've really learned a lot and from you today on the brief chat. So stay safe and look after you.
Been good to chat. Let's have that pint of Guinness soon.
Yeah, I just have to auction these pictures I've got on the wall. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Garry.